really create them. All we do is notice them. Look at DNA. We didn't invent DNA. It's part of us. Eventually, somebody noticed it because we invented things that could look at things in great detail, and we could start to decode it, and we could start to understand what is already reality. Just like gravity. Just like all the things that we are discovering in nature, which are already there. We observe things, and we look at things in a different way, and that actually is our process of discovery and creativity. And in that way, sometimes, by looking at the world in a different way, and by looking at business in a different way, then maybe we can create new things and come up with different ways of looking at things. Let's take the music business. So, something obviously that I'm reasonably familiar with. And you would imagine that most bands now are trying to sell, well, records, downloads, whatever. Actually, most bands are probably trying to sell t-shirts. Because you don't make any money anymore of making records or of making new music. Not really. Everybody just steals it. That's just life. They're not prepared to pay even the price of a pint of beer for what somebody has spent 6 months or a year of their lives making. They're just not. Whose fault is that? Well, actually, it's probably the fault of the record companies that failed to understand what the digital revolution was really capable of delivering. So whilst they sat there, fat, dumb and happy, not making people's lives better, note, running a successful business, making lots of money, but just like the little fish sitting there flapping their gills, fat, dumb and happy, until the big digital shark came along and ate them all up. And they never knew what hit them. Multi-billion-dollar companies gone almost overnight. Chaos. Totally unnecessary. If those companies had embraced the digital technology from the beginning, then you would have had EMI and CBS going, hey, there's another way to deliver these records to people. Here, look, secure site. Here you go. These are properly funded records, not crappy MP3s. Decent quality records. If they really cared about their customers, if they wanted to turn their customers into fans, let's face it, the bands are so busy trying to have fans that the record companies didn't give a shit. And eventually, the customers turned around and went, why should I be your customer? This guy over here is giving great stuff to me for nothing. I'll go with him. And I'll be his fan. Because he's fighting my corner. And where are we? Down the road? Well, people are starting to make some money now out of downloads. It won't ever be the same extent as it used to be in the days of records. It'll change a bit. But why, of course, is it important to make new music? It's important to make new music because without it, you're kind of pointless. As a band, you're dead in the water. We have to make new music. It's what we do. We're artists. We're musicians. The fact that people get it pretty much for free, well, that's just tough. And we have to accept that. But having said that, if you look at things from a different angle, when we go out and we play and we go on tour, we sell t-shirts. So now the music is free, but the t-shirt is going to cost you $50. It's just a different way of looking at it. Nobody's going to buy our t-shirts unless they are our fans. Nobody's going to pay $50 for a t-shirt unless they really believe in what you do. And unless you come up with great new music, which they're going to steal, okay, fine. Unless you come up with great new music and passion, they're not going to believe in you to go and pay 50 bucks for a t-shirt. So that's just the way of the world. Get over it, you know? So we all have to just grow up and swallow that one. And it's not so bad. What worries me, actually, just digressing slightly, what worries me more is new bands coming up. Because it's okay for us, because we have a very big fan base, and they're very loyal, and we're very pleased about that. But for new bands coming up, it's hard. Because they've got to get people to invest in them, because it's still an expensive business. Because you still, even more so now, have to go out on the road. Because no matter what you do in the digital domain, effectively everybody's doing that. So the only way of really getting out there is to get out there on the road and put in the road work and get yourself in people's faces. Give them an emotional experience. Give them a feeling about who you are.